I would like to give them an outlook towards dancing more scientifically than going into the art per se of the whole, the medium, because it relates immediately to the people, because it takes a while to understand the art form, and it takes you time for you to get into it and then experience it. So initially, I would like to look at it in a very holistic manner, in the sense that I would like to tell how it helps your mind, how it helps your body, and to fine tune your body in terms of strengthening your muscles, and different parts of the body, and at the same time how it plays a very important role in slowly bringing a balance in your mental thinking and ability to look at things in a more balanced way, in a sense, like the kind of control you get over the mind is what is the most important part of the art, this Bharatanatyam, which is true scientifically, and also like an art form. When you learn, that's the magical part of it. If people who are not initiated into it and get into it, over a period of time they start experiencing this and then come out and relate. They say how beautiful they felt with the body, and initially they will definitely relate with the body, because that's the first thing which comes in the physical form. Then they go a little deeper as they practice. They come and tell how refreshed they feel and how light they feel in the with the mind, and slowly they start connecting little more deeper from their heart and say that, okay, there is some kind of a deep connection which is happening with the dancer and the universe. What happens, the entire thing, and it shapes a person into a very complete human being. So this is what I would describe to them initially, and I also definitely tell them the beautiful part of the art form, because Bharatanatyam, especially Bharatanatyam, explores every part of the body, from the top to the bottom. It explores every part of the body, and mentally also it gives you a chance to work on your emotions, your feelings, understand your emotions, understand your feelings, and try to when you relate to the normal day-to-day life, you are very well placed in equipped to handle certain things with much ease than otherwise if you had not learned this art form. So I would give this kind of an introduction to them before they started learning dance.
That's so beautifully put. In fact, dance is something, it's a very natural instinct, which is also, it's like almost a basic human right.
So it is already it's a very which is very much an integral part of every being dance. It is just that some of us recognize it and some of us don't recognize that. So learning such art forms gives you an understanding what is already there in you. It is not teaching from outside. It is bringing out what is inside.
Very true. Hello, dear friends. I hope you're all keeping well. Dance is a medium of expression. It is a medium of communication, communicating our emotions. Well, it is almost a basic human instinct, and dance is something that must be accessible to all. Joining me today are my guests, Guru Kiran Subramanyam and Mrs. Sandhya Subramanyam, who are renowned dance exponents in one of the traditional South Indian classical dance forms, Bharatanatyam. They will be sharing their inspiring journey as dancers, their challenges, and also, most importantly, their valuable advice to all the young aspirants of dance who wish to pursue dance as a career. So friends, please don't miss out to watch this episode. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram, namaskaram.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you both today. Welcome to Chat with Chithra. How was your childhood, Sandhya ji?
I was born into a family that loved music, and classical music, Carnatic music, and we listened to music almost whenever we were at home. There was some music playing, and There was always an affinity towards music. But dance, probably I was the first one in the entire family, not just mine, but even in my extended family,
Hmm.
that I got to start off with it. My mother was the one who initiated me. So I think I was around 8 years old when she started me off with dance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I just took to it. I didn't even think at that time. It gave me a lot of joy, and it gave my mother also a lot of joy that I was doing it. So I just decided to go ahead with it, and I never even dreamt that this is how it would end up.
Amazing. As children, most of us, especially from the south of India, we grew up in an ambience which had a lot of exposure to Carnatic music or any other dance form. Perhaps that could be one of the reasons why we would have rather involuntarily, been drawn towards that. And I'm sure you have made your mother proud.
Wherever she is now, she is smiling, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. That's very inspiring to hear. You are both well renowned dance exponents. There must have been a time, Kiranji, probably around 20, 15, 20 years back. There were not many male Bharatanatyam dancers. What was that deep desire or deep aspiration in you that encouraged you to take up dancing?
When I decided to take it as a profession, there were hardly any male dancers. Very, very few, handful male dancers. Though I was so involved, one thing which I realized that through this art form, I thought it had such a big reach that I can reach people. I love people, in the sense like I love talking to people, interacting with people.
Hmm.
Then I realized this particular medium
Hmm.
has so much power in it and is so powerful that when you go on stage, it is just not dancing your dance items, but a lot of message can be conveyed and also learned that. This is what really inspired me. The time I decided to take this as a profession, I was doing my technical course.
Right.
And after that, I would have gotten into any 9 to 5 job in India, and I mean that is also fine. I'm not saying it's any less, but I thought I should do something on my own and give back to the society, which is making me a complete person. And I couldn't have chosen anything better than art. Saying all this, choosing as a profession at that time was very almost a taboo, because a male dancer was not recognized for various reasons. When you look at socially, people thought this is an art form where meant only for women, and a male taking it up would be look very what you say. It is not something of respectable position, in life. And on top of it, the most important thing was, how do you earn through this art form? That's the first, especially the family and the close circles thought, how do I make my living? Because earning through dance, it was not as easy as compared to I wouldn't say easy anywhere. Earning anywhere you earn, it's difficult, you need to work hard. But earning through dance was definitely a difficult task, because that was not recognized that well, in that sense, the male dancers, I'm talking as a male dancer. So people had their own concerns, and how I would earn through this, and how I would make my life. And if I, when I got married, how I would look after the family and make, life comfortable. So it was a taboo, and even society at that time, I think, was a little, I don't know what, they were biased or whatever it is. They didn't look at it a respectable profession. So when I took it up as a dance, as a profession, definitely I was not that very well encouraged by the society.
Right.
In fact, to be honest, I lost all my people, my friends, my close piece of circle people. They distanced me, because they thought being an association with me would be, degrading themselves, being associated with me. That was one of the most, I would say, more difficult, challenging part of it, of my life. But what really is the conviction I had in the fact that I also didn't know at that time how dance would be 5 years or 10 years later. But I definitely had this conviction that uh, if I really hold on to this and work very hard,
Yeah.
definitely one day I would reach a position where people would take the pride in being associated with dance, and me as a dance artist. So it took me around easily about 10 to 15 years for
Mm,
me to be accepted as a male dancer, and the same people who went away came back to me because they
mm,
thought, okay, there is something this guy is doing and is trying to say, and he is doing well in his art form. So I guess that was one of the very good side of believing in your conviction, whatever you have. So that is one thing. It really motivated me, kind of encouraged me to do more. So it was a difficult time. I wouldn't say it was easy, but I had to battle out many things at that time and come to the point, but it was worthwhile.
I'm sure we do live in a pretty conservative society even till date. Considering all those taboos and challenges, you broke through all those barriers because of your conviction that yes, you are very determined and you're committed to this art form, and today you are in the most successful position
Yeah,
in your life,
yeah.
and you are able to help many more dancers, many more dance aspirants, and trying to teach this, impart this wonderful art form. That's a very, very inspiring thing, I can.
Yeah, and definitely the credit, a lot of credit goes to my wife Sandhya because she stood by me during these times, and she believed in my conviction,
Mm,
and also it made me a more sensitive person in the society where I could relate with people who going through such things,
mm.
and try to be a part of their life and try to see what little I can help them.
Right. Sandhya ji, did you know Kiran ji when before marriage? How did you both meet?
We were together in our dance class under our teacher Padmini Ravi.
Oh, right.
So there we were both learning under her, and we were very good friends for a long time, and we used to perform together in
Right.
her productions and wherever she took us for performances. We went a long way before marriage as well.
Right.
Yeah, we were very good friends in the sense like we didn't even have the idea that we were going to get married to each other. We were such good friends that we would share a lot of things between us, and we would try to understand and each other. And I think that itself played a key role because the understanding part of it, which came into the main thing for which brought us together.
Took a good turn in your lives, and
Right.
with Sandhya ji's support, I'm sure you have benefited to a very great extent over the years. I think it's a good team effort between both of you. So happy. What was that moment in your lives when you decided that you both should take up dance as a career?
I think the first performance of mine, where when I performed, a lot of people came, and some of them were emotional, some of them were so happy, and they said how it touched them, and that's when I realized the art is bigger than the artist. It just gave me that beautiful understanding, and when I experienced that, then that gave me more kind of a belief that okay, there is some way which this art is so powerful. If I do a lot of work through this art, in the sense just not the apart from the traditional work what we do in art form, there's a lot of message I can convey, and there is a lot of relationships I can build through this art form. So that was the moment I really decided, okay, I know that it will be a difficult thing, especially to economically balance myself in my life. But if I believe in it and if I really work hard and give my best, it can definitely be anything, same as any other profession which I would have been otherwise. What
Very,
you?
very inspiring.
For me, I don't know. I mean, I knew that I wanted to dance all my life. That just came naturally. So this when he asked me to get married to him, I mean, there was no second thought at all because it would be the best of the best.
So
Amazing.
yeah.
Yeah. You have conducted several dance productions, workshops, and collaborations. Where do you both want to reach in dance?
One of my desires is that dance should become a way of life for many people. I feel dance is, it is a way of expressing yourself. It gives a lot of opportunity to express yourself.
Mm, mm,
So I want dance to become a way of life for many people. It is just not being only one side is the performance side. that is, you go on stage and perform. Another thing is it is evolving within you, from within. It helps a lot. So I want to reach dance, so to everybody, in such a way that it is not limited to think that it is only to meant to be wearing a costume, getting onto the stage, performing and things like that. It should become a way of life, which can fine tune you in yourself, within yourself. And if that helps, I feel largely the society will become a better, it will reach a very well kind of position where we feel there is more sensitivity, more love, a lot of compassion, and all those things that can be achieved through dance. And for the youngsters, I wanted to make it very fashionable, in a sense like any other profession, which, for if it's a rock music, or pop music, and the way they I want dance to become that, especially classical dance. I'm talking of Bharatanatyam, especially. I'm happy that in today's generation, there's a lot of people learning it, and they are able to relate with it, irrespective of what age group they are, from the youngsters even to the older people. I have a lot of students who are married and already having families, and they've already reached 40s, mid 40s, and already they still want to dance.
Oh.
So that is what I want to make it a fashion. That's what is my one of the important this one. And in turn also, it helps you, or it keeps you healthy.
Amazing. Because dance, I think it's a Natya yoga. Am I right?
Yeah, right. You very well. Beautiful. What you used. It's a Natya yoga, and for people who are spiritual, it is Natya Veda.
So
Both are there. Yeah.
we have a rich culture, cultural heritage and traditions that I think as artists, it is our responsibility to preserve that and help it sustain for the younger generations to come.
Right. And art is only one medium, irrespective. I'm a dancer, so I'm speaking as a dancer. Even if it's music or anything, society becomes a better place to live in when everybody is connected with some art form, because they understand, become more sensitive, and that's what I feel.
Dance, we all know, is a very competitive art form. Dancers are often said to be in sync with the total creation. What are your thoughts on that?
Look at it from the way I have experienced it. When we start learning to dance, it is more about moving the body in a particular manner, and then learning how to, it also adds up to memory, how you remember them, and how you use the other facets like emotional qualities like abhinaya. So the training goes like that. But when you start enjoying your dance for nothing but for your own self, then you realize when you're dancing that even you do not exist, only dance exists. You forget even yourself when you're dancing, and the dance is happening naturally. And in that way, I would think that you're connecting with the universe, because you totally lose yourself in the greater, in the larger um, purpose of things. So yes, this happens. I'm sure it happens to all artists, whether it's music or poetry or any other form of art. When they lose themselves in the art, and then the identity no longer exists, and it's only the art. Yes.
You are in one
So
with
that
nature.
happens.
Yeah, and also you start reflecting, a lot of things. If when I become a dancer like that, just not my emotions, I definitely can understand other person's emotions too. There, I can connect well. So that helps a great deal, because today, if we didn't have a lot of, becoming self-centered, self-obsessed, and all those things, it moves you out of that kind of wrong beliefs what we have, and it makes you connect well with people, and you become more sensitive to other people, not just your emotions and your feelings, but you're able to understand, you're able to connect well with the people and help them. And this is how you build a strong relationships bonding. So I feel dance, my experience is same as hers, but this also adds to my understanding of dance.
So beautifully put by both of you. That one particular performance where that would remain always a cherished memory in your lives. Can you share that
Uh,
one performance? I'm sure there have been many, but if you
Many,
could just share one experience.
really close to my heart is when we performed in the US. But in US, when we performed, we luckily had all the greats of this particular art form sitting in the audience. It just happened that they were there and we were to perform. After the performance, when they came and told how well dance, has how beautifully dance has chosen us. That what was very touching to me. It is just not we choosing dance. Dance also has to choose you. For that, you need to be ready. For that, you need to be conducive to dance. It is just not thinking that I choose the dance and I do things. The I factor goes off there. It is dance chooses you. So that is one thing. When all the greats of Bharatanatyam were sitting in the audience and they came onto the stage and told the public how beautiful the dance, speaks through them. So that is one of my most memorable performances.
There was one performance here in Bangalore many years ago. I think we were scheduled to go on another day, and there was some issue, and the organizer requested if we could perform on that day. So we had to just go on stage without a rehearsal, and the musicians did not. I mean, they have been working with us, but we had not rehearsed for that performance, and the two of us had not rehearsed either. And then we had to do a full 1.5 hour performance without any rehearsal, and
Yeah.
it was, I think, one of our most fabulous performances, because
Yeah.
it just showed how all things can come together when there is understanding and involvement.
True. Very true. Yeah.
Whether it was just the two of us, or whether it was all of the musicians, or whether it was the audience that was able to understand every small thing, everything came together in that performance. And it was beautiful because it showed that there is something else which is taking care of this. It is not just I dance because I practice. And here was a performance without practice, and something else took care of everything. And it humbled us a lot. It greatly humbled us.
Amazing. Yeah, the perfect coordination when you are not at all, it was a very impromptu and a very short notice
Yeah.
without any.
And we were not in control at all. It was just happening by itself.
Yeah, I remember we were improvising on stage and we were complimenting each other, and the musicians got also, inspired, and they brought in their part of it. And it was almost like a conversation. It was just not a ready performance. It was like a conversation between all of us, and the audience loved it. I still remember that. Yes, she's right.
That's so very beautiful. I'm sure that will always be etched in your memories forever.
Yeah.
Do you believe in this element called luck?
For me, luck, for me, the just she expressed about the performance, that is luck for me, because in the sense, we were lucky to go through that experience without any kind of, preparations. In the sense, what I'm saying is, luck this doesn't always have to be bringing something big and putting it on your lap, or, getting through something without much effort. I don't believe in that luck. Luck should be through hard work, through perseverance. So this, what she said was actually what I believe is luck. Because if we were unlucky that day, as I understand luck, it wouldn't have been that the performance that what we experienced. For me, that is luck. But to an extent, yeah, I agree, because it is, and also it all depends. For me, the content is more important. The quality is more important than quantity. So what happens is, when you have quantity with you, the stuff with you, it's very easy, because for you to sometimes, keep you afloat when things are not going that, well, it doesn't drown you, it keeps you afloat. So you are in a way lucky that you are that adds to your luck. So in a way, that also adds to your luck, because luck doesn't for me mean only something happening without, making myself making that effort and things like that. So I believe in luck this way, not the way, it's understood. Oh, I have to be lucky to be somewhere and lucky to get this performance and all this. If you are really good and if you work hard and be practical in life, because I feel practicality is so important. A lot of people think they're good, but they think that everything should just come to them because they're good. No, you need to do everything possible to see where you have to be, work hard in the right way, and this important for me. So I think these are all adds these things which add to what I believe in luck.
Very true. Luck can also be interpreted as, the Almighty's blessings.
Yeah. No, even to be called as a, I said, I just was telling you the dance chooses you. Even that is luck.
Yes, that's a very
Yeah.
profound statement. True. What is your responsibility to the community as dancers?
I would think first is to because dance teaches us to be all to be inclusive,
Mm,
because the dance fraternity is willing to include people into its fold,
mm,
and it teaches us to live together in harmony without pointing fingers at each other, without discrimination, and actually enjoying each other's work.
mm, mm.
And we help and support each other, whatever the troubles may be, whatever issues we may face, we always are there for each other. So we are an example of a perfect society, I would think.
And also it brings us better understanding and acceptance. So it is just not trying to show that you're all perfect. There are times when you would do not the right things in your life, and in your dance and things like that. As an artist community, we should be willing to accept it to ourselves and the other person.
Mm,
So in a way, we learn a lot of things. We learn to unlearn a lot of things.
very
So
true.
that is very important, I feel. It helps a lot.
Very inspiring. What is your message to all the young dancers out there?
I would say love dance so much that it becomes inseparable. Even dance, loves you so much. You just be so, I wouldn't say obsessed, but
Mm,
love dance so much that it becomes inseparable. It just cannot, even dance cannot be with you. That's how you have to love. That's how much you have to love dance. And on a more realistic side, I would tell the youngsters, we are learning a performing art. Yes, we need to prepare for performances on the stage and wherever we perform. But at the same time, keep your learning parallel,
yes.
because what happens is at a point, sometime when learning and performances come to become, one. There is a chance that when performance becomes more, the learning goes back.
Mm,
Or if it should not be other way also, just your learning and not performing, both should happen. For that, you need to keep it parallel. Let your learning keep going, and let your performances keep going. And your performances should be just a reflection of your learning.
amazing. So you need to strike
Yeah.
a
So
balance between both.
yeah, you have to balance it well like that. It's very important, because especially youngsters, when the performances come, some of them do get carried away, but so much that they forget to learn. They just want to perform, which is fine. There's nothing wrong in performing, but you have to learn, because it is just not about showing what you know. There are
Yeah.
sometimes, you go on stage to say that there are many things
Mm,
which you acquire through learning, which is what you're going to share. It is just not showing, it is sharing.
mm,
It's a sharing. It's very important, and it's a huge responsibility when you say share,
mm.
because you really have to know what is that you have in you to share. You can't just give it away and say this, it's your, you have to take it. So it's a very responsible thing. So I feel learning and performance should go parallel.
What were some of your earlier challenges when you actually started took up dancing? I mean, when I say you, it's between both of you together.
The earliest challenge was to be accepted by the society,
Mm,
and the financial challenge, of course. These two were the most pressing challenges when we started off. Slowly the acceptance came by way of our performances, and then we had a small school. So the society started knowing the good work that was happening from here, and the acceptance came. But the financial stability took a really long time,
mm,
because dance as such is an art form where you need to spend also.
sure.
It's not like you're earning money and you can use that money.
Mm,
We needed to invest that money back into our profession,
true,
and
true.
for that it took us a long time to kind of bring it to some sort of an equilibrium. But otherwise, I think other challenges, I'm sure every profession comes with its challenges,
Yeah.
and we could manage the rest of it. But these two, I would think, were the most pressing of all of them.
Yeah, for me the challenge was, I think, in the society, to accept it as a respectable profession. It took a long time for society to accept a dancer to be looked at, who's doing a respectable profession, and especially as a male dancer. So for me, that was a challenge because for many years, people thought I was just doing something, not so respectable, and just whiling away my time and believing in something which is not going to give you back anything, and it is only going to bring down your quality of life. I feel that was one of the most challenging part for me, to prove that dance is also a very respectable profession, and being a dancer is also being is a very respectable kind of where you look at many other professions. What you look at, it is something which also is very important.
No? You
Right,
have started this dance school, Rasika, and I think it is in its 30th year.
right.
31,
31.
31st. He completed 31 years.
Amazing. What happens in this institution? What is so special about this?
We started off as an institution that trains students in Bharatanatyam. But then we realized that as the generation was changing,
Yeah.
we were getting new generation of students. We realized that they needed not just a formal training in classical dance, but an overall personality development. So with it came a lot of teaching about how we need to be good human beings, and also to learn various facets of our culture, of our mythology, and then how you can enrich your life. And dance became one of the facets. So even now, we are still an institution which teaches Bharatanatyam primarily, but I think its wholesome approach is what makes it special for us.
Yeah, we bring in many artists from different fields to our institution and ask them to share their experiences, both personally and professionally, because it is just not professionally saying what they achieved, because some of them are so well known that we know that they are already, such great artists. But what is that which brought them to being, as called great artists? And what are the troubles and tribulations what they went through, and what it is giving some inputs to the youngsters here, saying that if this is how you need to mold yourself and to bring teach some life lessons.
Yeah.
So those things are very important.
Very true.
We bring a lot of people here because also many artists, the impression, the kind of impression this one they create when they are close to the people is totally different with just watching them on stage performing. So
Oh,
I strongly believe. So I brought in these people here, many great artists, and they shared their experiences, their life journey, and things like that, which really inspired many people and made them understand art realistically, just not carried away by the fancy and the glamour of it, the fancy part of it,
it's
teaching
very
the art.
inspiring to know that in addition to dance, you teach important life learning lessons. You bring in exponents of dance or any other art form and share their experiences with all these students. So it's a kind of overall grooming, literally, and that's such an amazing process, I would say. And it is a gradual process. I'm very intrigued to know, do you have a very traditional mindset that you would prefer only the Margam, or are you actually open for any kind of repertoire?
We are traditional in the sense that uh, making them understand the traditional beauty of what we have, the culture we have,
Mm.
in the sense only we are traditional, and when we are hold on to it, then people, the people, our students believe in it. So
Mm.
it is just not, but we are open minded in trying to make them understand in different ways. It is not that only if you learn this particular thing, only if you do this particular thing, you understand. But we try to relate a lot of what they're learning to their day-to-day life and teach them, so they know it, and they how valuable this thing, art form, is there in their life, and
Mm.
all those things. So we are more friendly, being traditional, but we are being more friendly with them, so they can relate with us well. Because there was a time when you could not ask any questions to your gurus or your teachers, and
Mm.
could not even have a conversations with them. We just learn the art form and perform.
Yes.
So that part of it, we don't believe. We believe in having a conversation. We believing in understand their point of view,
Yes.
because they are also very intelligent people, and they have a lot of things, to share. There are a lot of things to be understood. So we believe in that, but we believe in this traditionality because it is an ocean. The whole this part of it is an ocean. As much we are talking it as in a nutshell, it's an ocean. So we try to say how our journey is and getting into the ocean, and how their journey would be, and how they can explore more than, sometimes more than us. They
Mm.
could explore the
Mm.
beauty of this art form.
Mm.
So that is what, in that way, we are traditional only that much. But when it comes to understanding the art form, trying to understand how well we can reach it to them.
Right. That's very inspiring. Also very important considering the the generation gap between the youngsters and
Yeah.
during our time. So it's equally important to understand their perspectives. We're moving into a more lighter segment to describe each other in 3 words.
A wonderful human being, lot of patience, lot of tolerance. Yeah, patience, tolerance, and good human being.
Okay.
Excellent.
Wonderful human being is common. Fearless
Mm-hmm.
and extremely generous.
That's good to know. What's your dream holiday? Now, before you answer this, I want the response from a countdown from 3 to 1, and both of you will say at the same time. 3, 2, 1.
The
Europe.
mountains.
So, what was yours, Kiranji?
My Mine is travel Europe, all over Europe.
And Sandhya ji?
And for me, the mountains. Mountains,
Mountains.
anywhere in the world,
Mountains.
the mountains, yes.
Okay, okay. Who is more forgiving between the two of you?
Sandhya.
Okay. Which of you is a morning person?
Me.
Morning person?
Morning person.
I think, yeah, but more than me. Yeah, both of us are
Uh,
morning persons, but more
but
than me.
I really wake up very early.
Right.
I love, yeah.
What would you have been if you were not dancers, both of you?
Person who's involved in some social work, I
Mhm.
would have been something like that. If not, I was not a dancer.
I think I would have loved to be an artist, as in a painter,
Okay.
because I am fascinated by painting. Yes.
Right. So that brings us to the end of this very, very inspiring chat session. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And as a dancer and still a student of dance, I always have great respect for this art form. You said it very rightly. There has to be a perfect balance, not only between performances and learning, but also balancing between your professions, right? It was very, very inspiring to speak to both of you. I would like to wish your dance school, Rasika, all the very best and many more successes to come in the years. I would like to thank you very much for your time and your very valuable and inspiring session today. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And I really love the way the questions you asked, not the usual typical technical questions. It made us relive our own life. Thank you so much.